Hello, this is the sermon for the fourth Sunday in Easter. It's also the service in COVID time. Oh, COVID, how long will you stay with us? This seems to have been going on forever, and it looks like it might continue forever. I look back with fondness, bathing reality in a rosy glow. Pre-COVID days seemed filled with freedom and joy. And then I also look forward to post-COVID, when we can all hug and stand close to each other and touch hands and push through crowds on the ferry. I shall no longer have to leap off the sidewalk when I pass an oncoming pedestrian. The collect prayer talks about the Creator of all things. That's the prayer at the beginning of the readings. This Creator who will restore all things in glory, shaping us back into God's image in justice, peace and love. The story told in the Acts of the Apostles has that rosy hindsight glowing about it. It's as if they're saying, oh yes, I remember the early days when we first started out. Everything was beautiful and everyone loved us and everything worked out right and we all held hands and smiled sweetly. It's a foundation story. Foundation stories set out to draw the perfect picture in the past, to encourage us to aim for that in our future. It's about visioning and engagement. The psalm, in the same way, it is a beautiful reflection on life with God. Maybe the life of a solitary shepherd, but right in the middle of all the wonder of God, holding, guiding, feeding, restoring, is in line, and it says, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Well, they comfort you in the presence of your enemies. The Bible is Holy Scripture and true, not because it might be historically accurate or because some people think that God dictated it, because it takes the reality of lives as we humans know them that makes it true. It does not shy away from horrid things that will happen in our lives and horrid things that we will do to other people in our lives. It is honest and truthful about the dark. It is honest and truthful about the light that is always present, close as breathing. Our present context of life in the time of COVID has much unpleasant truth. The weakest of us, the virus will most easily take. The danger that stalks us when we cannot see or smell or feel is always nearby. It might be on that door handle. It might be the wind carrying the breath of the person who just passed by you. It might be on the side of the soup can you just bought at the grocery store. You back away from even those you utterly trust and love, maintaining 6 feet of distrust. Jesus, in his sheepfold story, which I must say is not one of the more immediately transparent analogies that he ever used. Faced by a wall of blank faces, I think Jesus says to them, look, really, truly, I tell you, I'm the gate for the sheep. All who came before me were thieves and bandits, but the sheep didn't listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to destroy and kill. I came so that they may have life and have it abundantly. I'm still not entirely certain what Jesus is saying here, but I think he's recognizing that thieves, death, and abundance of life can dare to live on together. You could die of COVID. Now, you could choose to die cursing the foul bug, angry at the government, at the medical system, at Chinese people, or at the travel industry, or, as a neighbour of mine firmly believes, at the conspiracy of the wealthy who will somehow profit greatly from this bug that they had cooked up and had manufactured in a laboratory. You could die of COVID, but perhaps you could die abundantly. You could bless the healthcare system and the people who risk their health to treat you. You could cry tears of joy as you possibly see your children and grandchildren for what might be the last time. You could use your best hour of the day recounting the best moments of your life. And more often than not, these are moments of love, of reunions, of forgiveness, and healings of loves broken. They are moments of grace and love and hope. And you could, quite probably, not die of COVID. But it gives you pause to think, pause to ponder. When Jesus says, "Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep," he offers an image which most of us have difficulty imagining. I have seen gates of sheepfolds in the English hill country, but the sheepfold is there to keep sheep in a safe place in the midst of a wolfishly unsafe countryside. It's safe inside, but there's no food. Food is outside, but not very safe. Inside is the place for the night. Outside is the place for clear sunlight. Jesus, the gate, enables you to move between safeness and risk, between extrovert and introvert, between home and away. And it's all good. You need both. It's as if Jesus is saying, I know you live in the midst of dangers, but come to me and I will give you rest and safety. And he is saying, I know you will only grow and deepen and become kind and wise and generous and strong if you go out into the world and take risks. Face who and what may hurt you. Help those who need you. The two go together. COVID, oddly, has spiritual value. It brings the readings for today into a focus of real lives lived today. Do we hide at home and never go out until those brilliant medical officers, who I've actually come to adore on TV, until they tell us it's all clear? No, I think, because it will never be all clear. You carry your death with you, always, every moment. Do we rush out and mingle just for the hell of it, because we won't be bossed around? No, I think that's not the case either, because that selfishness is also an act of aggression towards strangers, friends, and finally to those who might have to watch you die. But we can stay at home and wonder and rejoice that we have family and community. We have friends who will support us there. And we can go out with respect for others and for only good and necessary reason. We can still go out. Jesus is the gate, and that means, in spiritual terms, when you're planning to do something at the front door, the gate, as it were, of your sheepfold, going out or staying in, you pause there and you might pray there. You could say, Jesus, I'm about to go off and do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. Explain yourself in silent or spoken words. This is particularly better if you live alone, actually, because if everybody else in the family hears you talking to the front door before you go out, you may have to answer questions. But it's not a bad thing to just pause and think what you would say to Jesus about why you're going out. It doesn't have to be big. Hearing yourself saying those words is often where you might find in your imagination or in your soul, Jesus cuts in. And that is where he actually says, no, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should go through the gate. Just think about this again. Or he may say, yes, go in peace and I'll go with you. On returning, as you touch the door handle, pause and recount the blessings, the frights, the conversations, and the feelings of being beyond the door, outside the sheepfold. underneath what I've been saying is my profound belief that God, in the personality of Jesus, who I try to know from the Gospels, God is always in your life, in my life. God is never far away. God doesn't live in church and wait for us to turn up there, though church is like a lens that magnifies that light and makes it clearer. But God is always close by you. And the knack of faith is to try and bring that belief, that statement of faith, into consciousness in every aspect of your life. Walking in and out of the front door, going to and fro, cooking a meal, phoning someone up or not phoning them up, buying something, selling something. Every time you do something which affects you and particularly, more importantly, affects other people, you can pause at the door of your house, the gate of the sheepfold, the moment of opening your heart, and you can pray with trust and believing and hold this in consciousness. You may be 2 or more toes into the kingdom of heaven when you're doing this. The more you do it, the further you shift your weight into peace and love and joy. As it is so often said, it's not magic, it's not blind belief, it's practicing walking at the hinge point of the gate and trusting the hand who opens to you will always be there, because by God you are endlessly loved. Amen.